Now, these are some of the fights we've already had, and I can promise you there will be more fights ahead. I'm not going to win every round. We're having a fight right now because I want to charge Wall Street. A modest fee to repay taxpayers in full for saving their skins in a time of need. We want our money. Back. We want our money back. And we're going to get your money back, every dime, each and every dime. But it's going to be a fight. You watch. I guarantee you when we start on financial regulatory reform. Trying to change the rules to prevent what has caused so much heartache all across the country. There are people who are going to say, why is he meddling in government? Why is meddling in the financial industry? It's another example of Obama being big government. No, I just want to have some rules in place so that when these guys make dumb decisions, you don't end up having to foot the bill. That's pretty straightforward. I don't mind having that fight. You know, I said at the beginning how much it means to me to be able to travel this country. And how much it means for me to be here. And that is true now more than ever. Because there's no doubt that it's easy to get a pretty warped view of things in Washington. But then you start talking to the guys working on those machines, creating products all across the country. You go into the diner and you meet folks who are raising their kids and working hard and trying to keep things together. And I'm reminded of the strength and the resilience and the perseverance of the American people. I'm reminded of the fundamental character of the Americans that I'm so privileged to serve. It's that character that has borne our nation through the roughest of seas. A lot rougher than the ones we're going through right now. That's the character that will carry us through the storm to better days ahead. I am confident of that, because of you. And I'm very grateful for all of you taking the time to be here today. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. All right, this young lady right back here. Yes, you. There should be a microphone. Wait till the mic comes so everybody can hear you. Oh, I'm sorry, that's okay, I'll call on you next. Well, one of you ask your question. Question, thank you, Mr. President. It's an honor to be here with you today. I work here in LCCC's Financial Services Office. I am proud to be part of finding pathways for students who attend college. I feel that a college education is a lifeline to the future of our citizens. We greatly appreciate the increase in the Pell Grant. Which allowed our neediest students to access a college education. It increased buying power as college costs continue to rise. My question to you is, will your administration support continued increases too? The Pell Grant so that our neediest students have access to higher education? President Obama, the answer is yes. I want everybody to understand, we made, and this was the help. With the help of the members of Congress who are here, made an enormous investment in higher education. Making sure that young people could afford to go to great institutions like this. So we significantly increased the level of each Pell Grant. And we also put more money so that we could have more Pell Grants. Now, we want to continue to do this. I mentioned during my formal remarks the fact that a lot of banks and financial institutions are still serving. As middlemen in the financial aid process, and they take out several billions dollars worth of profits from that. It turns out that actually it can be administered in such a way where these loans go directly to the students. And if you do that, then you're saving several billion dollars that can then be put back into the system. We want to get that finalized, we want to get that done. That will be an enormous boost. Now, one thing I have to say, though. Even as we put more money into the student loan program, we are also trying to reach out to university. Presidents and administrators to figure out how can we reduce the inflation in higher education, because the fact is, that the only thing that has gone up faster in cost than healthcare. Is guess what? Higher education. And the problem is, if we're not thinking about ways to curb the inflation, then even if we put more money in, what that money is buying becomes less and less. And so trying to find creative ways for universities to do more with less is going to be important. Now, in fairness to universities and colleges, Part of the reason they've been having to jack up their costs is they used to get more support from the state. State budgets got into a hole, and then it became harder, and so they had to make it up on the tuition side. Nevertheless, what is also true, though, is just their general costs of operating have gone up in ways that I think we can improve. So we're going to be working on that as well. All right. Okay, I've got to call a gentleman, then I got to go back to you because you thought that I. Called you and I feel bad. All right. This gentleman right here in the tie. Yes, you look sharp. Question, Mr. President, thank you. It's an honor to stand before you. Thank you. Earlier in your message. You mentioned our transit system. Obviously we do need help and we're in dire need to have some assistance there. But what I didn't hear in anything is your interest in our steel mill. That's a big part of our community and we desperately need help there as well. We just wondered where Washington's stance is on our steel mill. Thank you. President Obama, well, I was talking to your mayor about this. Obviously he's a big advocate for manufacturing in the region. I do not have all the details in terms of what's happening at the steel mill at this moment. But what we've done is we've set up an office in the White House just focused on manufacturing because it's my view that America's got to make things. Now, we're not going to make. I want to be honest. Not all. The manufacturing jobs that have gone are going to come back. And if people tell you they are, that's just not true, because a lot of that has moved to places where the wages are just much lower. And I know that some people say, well, then we should just set up tariffs so that folks can't ship them in. But these days the economy, the global economy, is so interconnected that that's just not a practical solution. The solution is to find, and I don't know the details of the steel mill here, but I know that the ones that have been successful, they do what EMC is doing as well, which is you find what's the high-end market. What's the market that involves a lot of technology, specialization, highly trained workers? Quick turnarounds to spec so that the customers really feel like they're getting something special and different. That's how you compete. Because that's something that a steel mill in China or in Brazil can't do. They can't compete with you being on the spot working closely with customers. So finding ways to develop specialty steels and so forth, that's going to be the key. Our manufacturing office will be working with folks here in town to see what we can do. All right. Thank you. All right, back to this young lady here. Question: First, I want to start by saying that I am very grateful to be here to meet you in person. I absolutely support you and back you. I feel like Rome wasn't built in a day, and I know that everybody is really impatient. But I know that with time things can be turned around. and I believe that your intentions are really honorable in that. President Obama, I appreciate it. Question, I am a single mother of 3, and I have 2 quick issues that are very important to me, one being that I have a 3-year-old. Who has just turned 3, who got lead poisoning last year and almost died. And I called everyone, including the EPA of Ohio, and I cannot seem to get any response to this. President Obama, well, guess what? I guarantee you that somebody from the EPA is going to call you in about 5 minutes. Before you sit down, there's going to be a phone call from the EPA. All joking aside, and I know you have a second question, but I just want to focus on this lead poisoning. A lot of it from lead paint. From older homes all across the country and all across the Midwest is something that we have to be more aggressive on. This is something that I worked on when I was a US Senator, when I was a state senator. I'm working on it as president. And I will find out directly from them how they can help not only with your particular situation but what we're doing in this area in terms of lead abatement. Question, okay. President Obama, okay. Question, the second thing that I wanted to address to you is the unfair labor laws. That they seem to have in some of these industries as far as discrimination and different issues of that nature that don't seem to get addressed from the bigger companies. I have actually worked for Ford. I'm a full-time student now here at LC. gratefully, and even when I was working there and I have my whole family has actually come up. Through Ford, and there's a lot of very unjust situations that come about. But no attorneys will deal with it, no one will talk about it, and it's always pushed under the rug. And I do owe my what I have now to Ford, because it was what was bread and butter for my family. But at the same time, it's not fair that even at this point my mother still can't retire. She has to continue to suffer.